Tomatoes. Nigerians are quite frankly crazy about them. But what's the big deal?
Everything is good about tomato because it refreshes the body.
When you eat it, you have a wholesome feeling in your mouth.
They said hardly any household in Nigeria that doesn't use tomato as part of food preparation.
So you go to the any market, one of the first things they go for is tomatoes.
Nigerians eat tomatoes and they love it.
Full of nutrition and vitamin A, Nigeria is not only estimated to be one of the biggest consumers of tomatoes, but the biggest producer in sub-Saharan Africa. But the situation is not so clear-cut. Many Nigerian children are deficient in vitamin A, a micronutrient which is essential for vision, immunity, and cell health, especially for children. And the country is also a big importer of tomato-based products. This doesn't add up.
It's complicated. People eat every day, but tomato is not readily available. And secondly, the largest quantity of tomato is eaten in southern Nigeria, while in the north that grow over 90% of all the tomato. So you have the logistics issue.
The tomato is bearing the brunt of the handling to the loaders, to the crating, to the transportation, to the market, and eventually even to the table.
Post-harvest losses are a national crisis. 40 to 50% of tomatoes are being lost along the supply chain, where small and medium-sized businesses are lacking access to adequate storage, packaging, and processing equipment.
Losing 50% of what we produce is not a joke. Reducing post-harvest losses is urgent. This important nutritious food must be made available, and that is why it's important that we use it as a prosy crop, so that when we reduce post-harvest losses in tomato, we can also apply the same process and technology for other similar fruits and vegetables.
GAIN created PLAN, the Post-Harvest Loss Alliance for Nutrition, to bring together public and private sector actors to address this issue. Through the alliance, supply chain stakeholders exchange knowledge, create partnerships, and implement technologies to reduce loss. Because post-harvest losses means less nutritious foods in the market.
It's very important that every stakeholder play his or her role of reducing post-harvest losses. We are bringing players together because that will provide collective impact. There is no one organization that can bring about the resolution of the problem, and that require partnerships. And so that's why GAIN decided to use an alliance proposition and a business-to-business engine.
PLAN has worked with nearly 1,000 supply chain actors, taking a multi-pronged approach to build capacity at every stage in the chain.
To reduce losses, we are also providing support grants for businesses that are involved in the cold chain, an area that is very critical for maintaining nutrients and for food safety. And that includes handling. For example, we are using currently woven basket, and the project is promoting the use of returnable or reusable plastic crates.
We have been using raffia for years, but as things change, people need to change too. It doesn't take a rocket science to do this, it's a simple technology.
So far, PLAN has supported the purchase of over 17,000 plastic crates to suppliers such as Kenny O. Code, as well as refrigerated trucks, and it's changing the game.
Usually we have between a minimum of 48 hours to 56 hours on the road. Sometimes by the time it arrives Lagos, it's properly cooked. So it's serious loss.
I've been selling tomatoes for the past 7 years. The use of plastic crates and refrigerated trucks, it has actually reduced our losses to nearly nothing.
But it's not only poor transportation and crating material that contribute to post-harvest losses. PLAN has also provided cold storage rooms to suppliers such as Niger Pride across the country, allowing produce to be stored and have a longer market and shelf life.
Storage. That used to be our main challenge. By the time we get to Lagos, 70% of the freshness is gone. It puts pressure on us to sell off immediately. Otherwise, we run the risk of losing the whole produce.
Supply chains for perishable, nutritious foods are complex and require a number of different businesses and institutions to work together. plan by bringing these actors together to address post-harvest loss of nutritious foods is boosting nutrition and business throughout the country.
We're hoping to expand with people having access to good, nutritious, very good quality tomato to consume.
Perfect tomato is round and big, very strong, not the spoiled one.
An absolute believer that partnership works.
Long live tomato in Nigeria.